What is up, y'all? And welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Jacob Phillips, and we got Adara, Voodoo Val, Robert in the chat. How are we, y'all? How was your weekend? It's so good I feel refreshed. I feel back better than ever. And we're here for another weekly challenge. And today is the last of the 4 challenges that I have been doing. And it's going to be a fun one. I kind of wanted to recap like where we started, where kind of like we've gotten so far, and then, where we can go from here. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Val did add the starter files that are provided for what we're working on today. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we started off our January, our new year 2025 with everything vertical. I wanted to make this challenge to be all about making vertical content because at the end of the day, that seems like the only thing people watch these days is if it's horizontal, it's a no. If it's vertical, everyone's going to be watching it. So we started off our challenge making a vertical vlog. We did all sorts of, just wanted to show some of it right here. And yeah, I wanted to kind of just show off little clips that were all shot on iPhone, and all of the footage that is in the starter files is all shot on iPhone. And I feel like it's so accessible nowadays to create really good, high quality stuff. And I wanted to take a step back in this weekly challenge to show kind of how to do that. And so I did record some screen recordings for y'all of my settings that I use on my iPhone. And so if you want to nerd out, I think this is a really good place to start because what we shot all of these videos in Apple Log, meaning that when you turn this off, I enabled this by hitting Command-Shift-E, toggling this on and off. Everything is shot in a flat profile. So it made it so that way you can color grade and you have a lot more flexibility. And it also removes this over sharpness that you get with iPhone footage, that you find so easily with iPhone footage. And I just absolutely love shooting in this format. And I've talked about it here on the show plenty of times. And so my challenge to you is let's shoot professionally on our iPhones. It sounds what's the word when it's an oxymoron? There we go. It kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but I digress. So when you open up your camera app, I have this toggled on in the top right here that says ProRes Log, and ProRes Log makes it so that way it looks all gray. So you see when I tap it on, it's all gray. When I tap it off, you see color. This is the night and day difference that you've seen in all my shots. Is I have this setting turned on, and it really does make a really, really large difference. And I wanted to go over just a couple more settings. On the top right here, you can toggle your frame rates on the iPhone, which have been there since the dawn of time. You can't shoot 60 frames, but I recommend, shoot 24 frames a second, ProRes Log, and your footage is going to look really clean. The last housekeeping thing I want to show you to make the most professional videos possible is actually in your settings. Go on over to your camera, click on camera right here, go on in, and we have a bunch of boring old settings, but I promise you that this makes all the difference in higher quality video. And it's like no one's really spending the time to talk to you, to tell you to like check your settings, and then I'm just like the grandpa that's like, check your settings, you never really know. So the biggest thing, obviously, we wanted to shoot at 4K 24. That's usually the default. What we really want to do is click on preserve settings, and you'll see Apple ProRes is checked on there. But before we even do that, we want to go over to formats. We tap on formats right here, and under video capture, you can toggle that ProRes on or off. So that means that way when you go over to hit record, you'll actually see that ProRes because this isn't defaulted on every screen, on every iPhone. And you also want to click log. This is the newest thing with the last 2 camera models, and that's what really does the magic. Just ProRes alone won't do it, but tapping log right there makes all the difference. I also wanted to just make note that under preserve settings right here, you can toggle on Apple ProRes to remember to stay in Apple ProRes even when you turn your phone off. I find this incredibly helpful when I'm going and I need to toggle it on. It's already defaulted on. If you don't do that, every time you open your camera app, it's going to be in the regular picture profile. It's going to look standard like this and not in log. And that's not what you want. So without further ado, let's turn this boring old log footage that we have into magic. I want to show you how to do it so that way you can be well on your merry way doing it yourself. So without further ado, let's take some clips. We got some clips we've been building. I mean, our last challenge was your reminder to hit record. We have so many different cool clips. So I'm just gonna delete this and let's have it all gray. You know, I don't know how much time that we have, so I don't want to pick all these clips again if we don't have to. But let's make an adjustment layer and let's do the thing. Click on adjustment, and let me know in the chat if y'all have any questions. Chat's looking kind of slow today, so let me know where y'all are tuning in from, and if there's anything that you want to learn as we go along the way. Good to see you, Adara. Thank you for your challenge earlier. That was great, and I just made an adjustment layer here. We're gonna go ahead and name it Apple Log, because that's what we be doing. And I want to extend this out to all my clips. And we're going to have to go into our sound panel. Let's go and click on color right here. Our input LUTs. So just a little refresher. The input LUT is what we need to change the values from being this gray boringness into what we want. And every camera has its own log profile. And obviously it doesn't seem natural that you need to be this is kind of reserved, at least it used to be reserved for expensive cinema cameras would shoot in this profile. Now DSLRs shoot, and now your iPhone shoots in it. And so it can be kind of overwhelming to shoot in these formats because it just doesn't seem right. In a way, like you're just kind of like, should my iPhone really be doing this? Like, wouldn't the quality be kind of bad? No, trust me, it saves so much more data by being gray that you're able to pull so much more out in post that it makes all the difference. And we got Christelle from France, so it's good to see you. Val says, I've been doing a lot more stuff on my phone lately. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do a lot more stuff on my phone now. I've been shooting this whole month on my iPhone, and I'm like, should I even bring my camera like around with me? Like, I don't even know. So the LUTs that I'm using are the Stallman LUTs. I really like them. He has one for all my cameras. So I shoot in Vlog with Panasonic on my regular DSLRs, but I also shoot in Apple Log. So I'm going to click on that, and oh my God, night and day difference. It did make the image pretty dark. So I'm going to go over here and click on the individual clip, and we're just going to make micro adjustments to each clip as we go. I'm going to go ahead and increase it 0.5. Let's play around with the saturation a bit. Bring that up to 112. And then I also just want to check on my scopes, see what's going on over here. The scopes are a good indication to see if there's anything that's clipping. There's not necessarily anything clipping on this bottom here, but you can kind of tell that there's some, this isn't a full image. It's, there's some blank black space up here that I want to see if maybe we can just stretch it a bit. So let's just bring our shadows up a hair. You can see that that raises everything up. We can also go into our curves and do the same thing on either end. So this is kind of this is the dark end of our curve that we can push up. Oh, don't mind me. You didn't see that. This is the dark end of our curve that we can drag up, just like dragging up our shadow slider, or we can drag up our white. And that's actually kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted this to pop a little bit more. It didn't feel like it was. And so bring that up. Bring this just a tad. This is always sometimes a fun way to do it, just because you're visualizing it on the scope graph as well. And I think that makes all the difference. It already is looking a lot better. And like, let's just keep in mind that this image is shot on an iPhone. I think that sometimes gets a little bit lost on us. And I feel like with this series, I am a bit of a broken record because I'm always talking about it, but like, it truly is incredible that this does exist. And I'm just starstruck every time I pull out my phone. Like I said, this whole month, I haven't felt a need to shoot any of these examples on my camera. And I've felt that they actually do a better job conveying, just going out and shooting on my iPhone. And I don't know a bigger paradigm shift. And I just feel like a lot of people are still kind of stuck in like, oh, my iPhone's not high quality enough. Maybe I shouldn't get started right now because I don't have the equipment that I need. And it's like, no, it's literally in your pocket. So just don't be afraid to go out there and create. I want to go to the next clip. Keep on color grading. This is Boreal Mountain on a ski lift. Let's see how we can make the colors. And it's really easy just to have that default LUT that's just as an adjustment layer. It's just dragged out on all of these clips. Easy peasy. I mean, if you didn't want to do anything else and you wanted to just click export, then this is your way to do it. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty, if you literally want to get in the nitty gritty, then you can do that too. And I don't know. You don't need to be a camera nerd. I want to show my camera nerdiness to y'all, but make it as simple as possible. So please, in the chat, let me know any questions that you have as we go along. I'm going to have a water break. Chat, let me know if you've been hydrating. I try to get a gallon in a day. It's hard. It's hard to drink a gallon of water a day, but it's important. So don't sleep on it. Let's bring up the saturation on this. See if it... kind of want to make it a little warmer too. Not too warm now. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Okay. This is one of my favorite shots. I mean, the Golden Gate Bridge speaks for itself, but I think that the colors feel a little off and dull. So we're going to go right here. We're going to bring those up. We're going to bring these curves up too. I want to bring this saturation up like kind of a lot. Maybe bring the curves back down so it doesn't feel so fake. But I do just feel like we can play around with this saturation a bit. Maybe. Okay, bring in the exposure up just a tad as well to see. Okay, it looks a little hyper realistic now. Just the green grass, I'm not feeling too much. So let's just bring the tint up to 3. Maybe we drag it even more just to see. Obviously, that's not going to work. But yeah, maybe just like a point. I just feel like it was a little green. Okay. This is getting somewhere. It's all about making like little micro adjustments with color to really make things stand out. That's my opinion. Let me check the YouTube chat. Let's see if anyone's in the YouTube chat saying hi to me. Without me seeing. We got Scott and Christelle. As someone who is now joining this series, what are some key points I may have missed? Well, Scott, check out the beginning of this stream. I was just talking about that. We had a lot of different weekly challenges that I was doing every Tuesday. And this is like the culmination of them all, where I want to bring a lot of these shots to life and actually click export and actually upload something for once onto Instagram. And I think that's where we get so caught up with, is like just not posting, not doing the actual deed of what Instagram is built for. And that's sharing raw moments. And I love that about iPhone photos or videos for that matter. I guess this is a video stream. This isn't a photo stream, but it can be if you guys want it to be. Let's bring the exposure up here. I love this shot. This was shot. So underrated feature on the iPhone, 5x zoom. This was shot 5x. And I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. I have a video actually that would be cool, that you can like, basically you can zoom as much as you want. I wonder if I can find it. It was pretty cool. Where I zoomed all the way in and all the way out. And I kept trying until I got it right on here. Yeah. So this is a 1x zoom paired with, and I know I'm getting distracted, but look at this. So this is I had to add the LUT because, smooth zoom feature, because I mean, you can't even get that with a DSLR. That wouldn't work. I mean, it looks, yeah. Anyway, so 5x definitely underappreciated on the iPhone. Don't sleep on it. But you can tell that we need to bring the saturation up, because this is a beautiful sunset that isn't getting its full potential. So let's also bring the curves down. I feel like this is kind of dark. And you'll see that, color grading, it's very therapeutic, just staring at a clip, and it's a bunch of the same movements repeated, and you don't want to do anything extreme. I think that's where color grading can kind of become a little, people can sometimes get carried away with color. They want it to really pop, or they want it to really feel some kind of way, but it's just about making subtle movements, and that's what I'm doing here today. But I feel like, there's some room to run with the saturation on this shot, because it's so like pastel like. And you would never have this latitude on a standard iPhone shot. And so Christelle says sky colors are amazing. Thank you, Christelle. I think they look pretty dang good. I would agree. This is a morning shot. Just seems dark and like, oh man, I just want it brighter, Yeah, there we go. Little pro tip too, gamma is a fun thing to play around with. Go over into your settings and working, where is the gamma? So there's a setting called viewer gamma right here. And I'm going to click web, because the idea is that every time that I'm hitting play and pause or exporting, there's just a slight tweak in the color. And since we're making everything for the web, I want to post this on Instagram. We want this to be in a web gamma, and we're gonna have less of a shift in colors when we go to export. Just a fun little pro tip. It's all about pro tips today. Let me get some more water. If y'all be drinking as much water as me, let me know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, it already looks a bit better just adding saturation and a little bit of exposure. I don't want to mess this shot up too much, to be honest, but let's just bring this up maybe. I kind of like that. It's like moving so much. I'm like, do we have a shot where it moves less? I kind of like the beginning of this better. I'm going to drag this over right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I am really impressed with these colors. Might even, so this was shot on 5X, and it might even help to add like a little bit of a warp stabilizer to it just to see. I'm gonna go over to the effects tab, type in warp stabilizer, see if it does anything. I don't know if it'll look good, but it's worth a shot just to see. Helps a little bit. Okay, and we got a little kitty cat visitor. Real different breadth of footage in this edit, which I like, you know, a little slice of life, if you will. I'm gonna bring down the temperature. I think I made it a little too warm, but I do love the contrast, and I do want to bring up that exposure a bit. I find that, you know, it wouldn't hurt to overexpose some of this ProRes footage when you go to shoot it on the iPhone. Because it kind of comes out a little dark with these LUTs. I'm not going to lie. Like, look how dark this shot is. I'm like, this is supposed to be bright and happy. And so we can easily fix that. But it wouldn't hurt to overexpose your log footage just a hair. Got a bird flying by. That's so nice. Oh my gosh. Let's go over to our curves. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty unbelievable. In our last 5 minutes here, let me know any other questions y'all have, but I am just so impressed that this is shot on an iPhone, and I'm never going to get over it, and I'm going to sound like a broken record till the dawn of time, because y'all need to shoot on your iPhone. I don't know why we have this sitting in our pocket and we're just not just baffled by it, because I sure am. I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I think it is something else entirely. I mean, just like even shots like this are just like some abstract, like light peeking out. I'm just forever impressed. It really is just, maybe we just end this with like a little bit of a text that just says 2025. Center it up. SF 2025. Go click on this, center this. Man, we could even add some sound effects there, like just like maybe it'd be great if like one of those self-driving cars was just like going up the road there. Maybe it is, honestly. I'm sure there's somewhere, but yeah, something like this. And then I'm gonna chop it. Hit the C key and then the shift key and then I'm going to hit the A key. I'm going to drag all this over. I'm going to make an out point. Hit the O key to make an out point here. See how this color looks. Wow. And you missed it in the other edit, but yeah, I want to bring that text so it comes on like right here. SF 2025. There we go. Wow. Oh, there was like a little bit of a hiccup there. But I did mention in the edit before, because we were working on this last week, there's no music right now, but I would recommend taking a something that's already popular on Instagram and overlaying it. So that way the music sounds good. We can't do that on the stream, but that would be my recommendation for making the best edit. And that's how to quickly color grade professional looking shots for an iPhone. And I'm not even playing that in full res, which we could if we wanted to. hit record more, just don't be afraid, y'all. I think it's so intimidating to just not want to. Val says, honestly, even just some wind and burn sound effects would be lovely. I totally agree, Val. And yeah, make what you want. Don't be afraid to hit publish. And I just want all of the excuses in 2025 to go away. And I want you to go out and create easily. And I hope that this tutorial kind of shows you, oh my gosh, we just made a 15-second piece of content in 25 minutes. So don't be afraid to do that. It was all shot on iPhone. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, y'all. I'll catch y'all, I'm sure, soon. Up next is Andrew for his weekly challenge. So please don't go anywhere, and we will see y'all soon. Take care. Bye. Thank you.